إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول في الكتاب العزيز بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتون وأنتم مسلمون. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. My dear brothers and sisters, I bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his last and final messenger. Today I want to talk about a concept that I feel has been plaguing society. This concept is this cancel culture. We've gotten to a point in society that we feel that everybody should be perfect, that we should not commit any sins. And obviously we should not commit any sins. I'm not saying we should be committing sins, but we are not perfect. Bani Adam is not perfect. The children of Adam is not perfect. We will commit sins in our lives. I'm sure everybody in this room, whether you want to admit it or not, has done something wrong. And what happens these days if you do something wrong? Society wants to cancel you. Society wants to cancel you and have you not exist anymore. And what does that do to somebody's psyche? Trying to live to this par that everybody, sees you as this angel. This is the thing that causes people to be depressed. This is the reason why we see suicide rates and stuff go up. We cannot live to that level. We will be committing mistakes in our life. And when we do, we seek forgiveness. Now there's two ways. There's two things that you'd be doing when you committed a mistake. You do a sin or you do something wrong against Allah. And what do? You ask for forgiveness from Allah. And the other is you commit something wrong against someone and you seek their forgiveness. And that's usually the harder one to get, because Allah is the most merciful. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Now as you know, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Rahman was mentioned 57 times in the Quran. And Ar-Rahim was mentioned 114 times, which is double Ar-Rahman. But what is the difference between the two? Lots of times when it's translated in the Quran, it's translated in the name of Allah, the All-Merciful, the Bestower of Mercy, when we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now, lots of the ulama say Ar-Rahman is Allah's mercy to all of humanity, to everything. And we see this many times when it's mentioned. Like in Surah Al-Mulk, when it says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ صَافَّاتٍ وَيَقْبُضْ مَا يَمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا الرَّحْمَنِ إِنَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَصِيرٌ. Do you not see the birds above them spreading their wings and folding them? None upholds them except Ar-Rahman, Allah. He is the all-seer of everything. Now Rahim, which is mentioned more, this is something exclusively for the mu'min, the Muslim. This is saying Allah's mercy is limitless. And we see this over and over again. And we see this, we're studying Seerah right now, and you see these examples of where the Prophet ﷺ showed mercy, showed compassion. Now, lots of you guys know this story, but I want to just bring it back up for a particular point. Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a was a companion of the Prophet. And not only was he a companion, he's one of the 300 who attended Badr. Now, when they were approaching Fatah Mecca, Hatib sent a letter with a lady and said, give this to these particular people, the leaders of Quraysh. And the Prophet ﷺ got revelation that this letter was being sent, and he told 3 of the companions, Ali, Zubair, and Miqdad, to go and find a lady, and he described the camel, the location, and where this lady would be. And they went and they found this lady exactly the way the camel was described, exactly at the location. And they told the lady, hey, you have a letter? Please give us the letter. She says, what letter? I don't have a letter. He said, no. We know you have a letter. They searched the camel, they didn't find the letter. They said, we know you have the letter on you. To the point that Ali said, do not make us search you. And then she said, okay, I have the letter. And she gave them the letter. They bring the letter back to the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ was with the companions, and among them was Hatib. And Hatib didn't know he was sending the Prophet ﷺ sent this group of 3 men over to get the letter. And when he sees this letter, he obviously says, oh my God, he gets nervous. And the Prophet ﷺ said, oh Hatib, what is this? And Hatib replies, O Messenger of Allah, do not hasten your judgment against me. I'm a man who is not connected like you guys. I don't come from a tribe or have family of the people of Quraysh. And I was worried if something happened when we come with Mecca and we do not win, that they will harm me and my family. And the Prophet ﷺ responded with Hatib has told the truth. But obviously the Sahaba are furious. This man committed treason against the Ummah. Imagine this, warning the enemy that you guys are coming. That's almost unforgivable. But the Prophet ﷺ said, especially when Umar came in, and you know what Umar was going to probably do. He said, Hatib participated in Badr. And who knows, perhaps Allah has already looked at the people of Badr and said, do whatever you'd like, I have forgiven you. Now the lessons and the takeaways from this is showing that the mercy of something to that great, sin or wrongfulness that he was doing. He put the whole ummah. But the Prophet ﷺ knew that he was coming in 10,000 strong. There wasn't being an issue. And the point is, dear brothers and sisters, when someone wrongs you, think about something like that to that level. What did the person that wronged you do? The Prophet ﷺ was willing to forgive something that wrong. Now, as Muslims, we understand there's 3 things we can do if someone wrongs us, right? The first one is what? If somebody wrongs us and we're oppressed, you can make dua against that person, right? Because the dua of the oppressed is always answered. And the second, you can go and say, you know what, we're going to settle this on the Day of Judgment. I know you wronged me. And I'm going to meet your Day of Judgment, I'm going to take some of your good deeds. Or if you don't have any good deeds, you're going to take some of my bad deeds. And lastly, is you forgive them. And if you have mercy on them and you forgive them, the reward is from who? Allah. And that, dear brothers and sisters, is the solution that we should strive for. That is the solution that we should all try to attempt. Ask Allah to make us among the people merciful. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر لكم فإنه الغفور الرحيم. Alhamdulillah wa salatu salam ala Rasulullah amma ba'd. For those who came in late, today's topic where we're focusing on mercy and having forgiveness. That we live in a society that is cancel culture. That we're very quick to shun people from society. But yet, we don't think about ourselves or our imperfections. So we talked about having mercy on each other. And I ended with the 3 things that we could do. And the reason I want to focus on the last one of forgiving that person in this life is why? Because Allah will have mercy on us. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, as you know, there was a good portion of his life where he was imprisoned. He was imprisoned, he was beaten, he was tortured. And it just wasn't just like a normal prison like here. I mean, he was whipped to the point, they said, when do you stop feeling the whip? He said after 20 whips. And they would beat him 80 times. Imagine that. At 20, he'd stop feeling it because of the pain. You know, skin would kind of almost fall off his back. And if you think about what if somebody harmed us, did anybody go to that level? That we were imprisoned and beaten and tortured to that level? And guess what he did when he was out and the people supported his side instead of the oppressor? All the people who used to beat him and talk bad to him and backbite against him, he forgave them. They would come and they'd say, oh, I'm sorry, I was the one who whipped you, and he forgave them. And Salah said, how about the people who passed away, who died before you forgave them? His son. He said, I forgive them too. And he said, oh Father, I understand why you would forgive the people who came and asked for forgiveness. But how about the ones that didn't even ask for forgiveness? Why would you forgive them? And what did he say? He said that on the day of judgment, all the nations will come before Allah and they'll be on their knees. And Allah will say, do not stand up unless I owe you something. And no one will stand up except those who forgave and pardoned in this life. In this life. Imagine that, dear brothers and sisters. You are getting a reward from Allah. That Allah will give you that reward. He's rewarding those who pardoned on this life. And that is really important. More than trying to settle the score of someone, because nobody's going to get in to Jannah with their deeds. You know, I'm going to collect the good deeds from this person who's wronged me in this life. No. We are only getting into Jannah from what? Allah's mercy. So we have to remember that, dear brothers and sisters. We have to remember that we need to go out and forgive those, regardless of what they did. Regardless of how much we think it hurt us, or our family, or the ummah, or our masjid, or whatever it may be. Especially if that person asks for forgiveness. If they sit there and said, you know what, please, I am wrong. Because we do not know what's in the heart of someone. We know this person. He's asking for forgiveness, but I know him. He'll come back and do this tomorrow. No, dear brothers and sisters, we do not know what's in the heart of man. With that being said, I want to end with 3 action items. The first one is for you. Every single one of the people in this room. It's first, never give up on Allah's mercy. Never give up on Allah's mercy. Some of us, sometimes I've heard this. How many times have you heard somebody, you know what, my life, this is the way I live. There's no way I'm going to Jannah. I've already decided I'm going to the hellfire. Why, dear brother? Why would you say that? You gave up on Allah's mercy. You sin, you ask for forgiveness. You sin again, you ask for sincere forgiveness. And again, for sincere forgiveness. Allah will never not forgive you. His mercy will not end unless, what? Unless you get too tired for asking for it. We cannot have the mentality that I'm a lost cause. That within itself is wrong. The mu'min does not think like that. The mu'min does not think like that. Always ask for forgiveness, regardless of how many times you do it. Just make sure it stays sincere, that you're really, really trying. Second thing. So that's the first one. First action item is to go today, tonight, after Salah, and sincerely ask for forgiveness. The second one is have mercy on your family. Have mercy on one side. It says, Allah says, I am Rahman. I created Raham, the womb, and I derived it from the name for it from my name. Hence, whoever keeps it, keeps family ties, I will keep ties to him. And whoever severs it, I will sever ties with him. We have to keep our family bonds. There's lots of times I hear families break up over the stupidest things. I'm not going to talk to him. This is your blood. And you stop talking to him because of something insignificant. He did this to me, he did that to me, he bothered me, he annoyed me. Or my child, or my parent. I can't believe my parent did this to me. I can't believe my children did that to me. Dear brothers and sisters, have mercy on your family. Sometimes I've seen us have mercy on ghuraba, like people you don't know more than you have with your own blood. Be merciful to your family. So action item number 2, go through your Rolodex in your head. Say, you know what? I was really bothered by this person or that person. My brother, my cousin, my uncle, my father, my mother, my spouse. And forgive them. Forgive them. Truly forgive them in your heart. And you know what it means when you truly forgive them? We stop talking about it. We don't bring it up. The next fight, we don't bring it back up. Because we forgave them. And lastly, have mercy for humanity. And what does that mean, dear brothers and sisters? Alhamdulillah, we are blessed. Everybody in this room is blessed. As many of you know, I work for Islamic Relief. So I see over and over and over again the problems that's going on in this world. We see the problems are going on in Yemen. See the problems are going on in Afghanistan. I mean, subhanAllah, you see these things. Families cannot eat. Some families have to sell their children off just so they can save other children. I just read the other day, yesterday or the day before, that 3 children in Syria froze to death. You think you're cold because your house is at 72 and not 73 degrees? Imagine how cold you have to be to freeze to death. May Allah make it easy for them. So have mercy on them. When you see opportunities for winter programs, winter aid, providing just something as a jacket. Because I've seen these pictures, dear brothers and sisters. I've seen Brother Anwar Khan, who just came back from Afghanistan. He showed me pictures of where they were providing aid. The people providing aid in this freezing weather are coming to pick it up. No gloves, sometimes just a t-shirt or a light shirt, just to go pick up some blankets and jackets and hats. Because this is all they have. So have mercy for humanity. Have mercy for humanity and provide that warmth at every opportunity. And inshallah today, we will give you that opportunity. Just on your way out. They're providing winter aid for places like Syria, where you can provide warmth. And we're not asking for thousands and thousands of dollars. If you can get that, alhamdulillah. $5, $10, $20 can really provide warmth for a family. So ask Allah to make us among the people who are merciful. Ask Allah to grant us Jannah. Ask Allah to shower His mercy among us. Ask Allah to unite our hearts as a family and a community and as an ummah, and grant us success in this life and the next. Ask Allah to make us among the people of Jannah. Ask Allah to relieve us from the torment of this life and the grave and the hellfire. I ask Allah to do not let our hearts deviate after He's guided us. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. أقم الصلاة.